Hello and welcome to our 4-night Northern European cruise on Princess Cruises' beautiful Enchanted Princess. In this episode we have to wait for the fog to clear to enable us to visit Guernsey, we have a stroll around St Peter Port, we visit our friend's dairy farm and find out how they make their local ice cream. We return to the ship and do battle at the bars, enjoy a good show in the theatre and have a final catch up with Paul and Carole to see what Paul thought about the bar service on board. Our visit to Guernsey was delayed a while. We had to wait until the fog cleared before we were allowed to go ashore. So we've arrived in Guernsey and brought the rain with us.
Brought the rain, the wind, the fog.
We were delayed coming in, weren't we? Because we had fog in advance, so the captain Commodore had to delay coming ashore. But now it's had a sprinkling of rain, but it's warm and it's still quite pleasant.
Yeah.
So I'll just show you a little bit around Guernsey in St Peter Port. So we're standing on the seafront here now in St Peter Port, and everywhere you go they've got all these beautiful flower arrangements all along the roads. I mean, this is just in front of one of the local, this is the Balthazar restaurant, and the sort of outlook that they've got with all these flowers is quite spectacular. Some of them have taken a little bit of a beating from the rain we just had, but yeah, it's very pretty. Again, yet more beautiful flowers on all the buildings. Such a pretty place. Well, we're in a little cafe place. It's a sort of French type place in St Peter's Port called Christie's. It's really nice. We came here 3 years ago, didn't we, Lindsey?
We did, yes. And we've had coffee and pain au chocolat. Service is very good. Coffee's lovely. Yeah, it's really nice to come back here actually.
Yeah, we found it fairly easily, didn't we? It's not a huge place to walk around.
Really, no.
But we were lucky enough to meet up with some friends of ours who own a dairy farm. And while we were there, they were actually manufacturing their own brand of unique Guernsey ice cream, which really is quite special. So if you'd like to see how this, with a little help from these young ladies, is turned into this, please continue to watch. The process begins by using the locally produced eggs, which are cracked and separated all by hand. After this, the egg yolks are whisked and kept in a jug ready to add to the custard mix. The ingredients are carefully measured with the use of a scale as they're added to the custard mix. Firstly, there's the egg yolks, then the sugar and stabilisers are added, and of course that beautiful home-produced Guernsey milk. The custard is then thoroughly mixed before being returned to the scale and having the cream added, of which there is plenty. After this, the mix is added to the ice cream making machine, where it's pasteurised at 84 degrees, stays in here for around about 7 minutes until it comes out the other end chilled to a temperature of -10 degrees. The ice cream is then placed in the containers and then they're moved to a freezer to be frozen at -20. Once finished, the ice cream has a shelf life of up to 12 months. And if there's one thing you must be sure to try when visiting Guernsey, that's to try the local ice cream. It really is amazing. After our catch up with our friends, we went back into town and then had to join the very long queue to get back onto the ship. To get back onto the ship. Quite a long one. We've been queuing now for 20 minutes. After another 10 minutes or so, we did get onto the boat ready to take us back to the ship, which turned out to be quite eventful.
I don't need a feeling alive. Nothing in sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memory.
So from the outside, the sea really looks quite calm. But this is what it looked like on the inside. After half an hour alongside the Enchanted Princess, we were still waiting to get off, and people were being bumped and thrown around on board. We did eventually get back on the ship, and were feeling rather peckish, so we decided to go for a quick bite to eat and a drink.
This is pepperoni pizza from Slice. This is what happens when you don't eat it with a knife and fork. Nice?
You get a mess, but it's very nice. Tastes the same whether you eat it with a knife and fork or not.
True.
Getting the food was quite straightforward, but actually getting your drink was somewhat more difficult, as you can see from the queue at the bar. We did eventually get a drink, and then we enjoyed the sail away. So we're all packed up now, bags outside the door of our nice little cabin B428. And the sad thing is, what was our problem, Lindsey?
It took us longer to check the amount of cupboards than it did to actually pack the bag.
Well, that makes a change, doesn't it? So off out now for a few drinks and dinner.
So this is my little gripe tonight. We came into good spirits for a drink and decided that we would sit right beside the bar because there was somewhere to sit. We did manage to grab a waiter and place our order. It took them half an hour, and our drinks have been sat on the bar for quite some time waiting for them to finish them off and bring them to us. The whole system is broken.
And so we went back to good spirits to try and get another drink. And look who we bumped into. How's the bar service been tonight?
In here?
In here, yeah.
It sucked.
Oh, has it?
I have to say. Vista Lounge was okay, but it just sucks, really.
Yeah, it's not been good, has it? What about you, Carole, your experience?
Well, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Very frustrating.
It's like being
Not
married,
enough-
isn't
not
it? Very
enough bar
frustrating.
staff. The app's not working all the time, and there's not enough bar staff, so a bit disappointing.
And you, Lindsey, what's your experience been?
Not very good.
Patchy.
Patchy, to say the least.
Yeah, if the service, I think, if the service in the bars was as good as it is in the restaurant, it'd be fine.
Exactly.
So good morning and welcome to a not so sunny Southampton. That's quite miserable. So we've arrived this morning at the new Horizon terminal, first time ever for us. So it'll be interesting to see how efficient this is. It's obviously got electrical hookup because the Commodore's already told us that we're hooked up to electricity. As you can see, it's a hive of activity down there with loading and unloading going on, all the cases coming off. And it's goodbye from us to our beautiful little balcony. So we've arrived home now, and I just thought I'd do a bit of an update on what happened at the Horizon terminal. So it's an extremely long way to walk once you get inside the building to get your thing. It was fine, but it was a very, very long way. Particularly for some people who have walking difficulties, they actually had to stop on the way and have a breather because it was that far. Then when we got to the outside, we found out that our cars weren't there. So we then had to load all our luggage onto a bus, get on a bus, drive back to the Ocean Terminal to pick the car up. When we got to Ocean Terminal, there was no other ship there. So why on earth did we dock in the Horizon Terminal? In fact, looking around when we drove out through Southampton, we were the only cruise ship in port.
So why did they put us at this horrible terminal?
Despite a few little hiccups along the way, we did have a wonderfully enjoyable cruise on board Enchanted Princess. If you've enjoyed coming with us, then why not join us on our next expedition on Sky Princess, where we go to the New World, the USA and Canada. And to make sure you don't miss out, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button and don't forget that notification bell, so you're informed every time we do a new upload.